welcome one and all to this week's Power Hour. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type the number 1 in that comment section, that chat box, let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! Lighten it up, man. Lighten it up. All right. Quite the fancy intro. There you go, Karen. It is. It is. I was going to say, that's exact words I was going to use, Karen. We're starting to get fancy here and realize it's not me. I would just say, hey, everybody, I'm here. Let's start. You know, Sean does a great job with putting all that stuff together. How you doing, Brenda? Helen, good morning. Let's see. Ones. I sound distant. Well, I'm in New York, so I guess that could be something to do with it. I'm probably a little distant, right? All right. Sean's working on everything with that right now, so hopefully that makes it a little bit better. All right. So as we get started here, keep in mind that everything we look at is for educational purposes. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you like what you see, make sure that you confirm that it fits your own personal risk profile, risk tolerance, before you ever consider taking on that candidate and or that trade. All right. I had an amazing Easter, Jennifer. I hope you guys did as well. Great holiday for everybody. You think I sound good? Well, there you go. I mean, it's just everybody's got an opinion, right? It just could be speakers. It could just be internet speed. Who knows? Latency. I don't know. You know, we do the best we can. I don't really change much. I try to do the same thing over and over again. Not expecting different results. And we're good to go. All right. So we've got a lot of stuff happening here, folks. Inner Circle is coming up on the 10th, which is today. Mastermind Group is tomorrow. Patterns in a Flash is Wednesday. We got a couple of classes next week. Power Hour and Training Coaches Playbook, the bookends, the cornerstones of what we do, are both on schedule this week. Key to be free. Yes. There are 2 of them that we put in place. Here's the thing, folks. I got it. I heard it from everybody that had complained and said, listen, we couldn't get in the class. The last one you did, it was just too packed. There were way too many people in there. And there were. We had well over the max capacity of registration for what we do in there. So because of that, we're putting 2 more back on the schedule. They are both this week. One is 8 p.m. on Thursday, right, which is the 13th. And then the 15th, which is Saturday, is at 1 p.m. Eastern. We were going to do 12, but we figured for those of you in California, we'll give you an extra hour to sleep, you know, on the West Coast. So that's really what, 9, 10. It's 10 o'clock now, you know, when the class starts. So all of that good. And then Portfolio Protection on Autopilot is by Mr. Dale Zamzo. Dale, for those of you that don't know, was one of my original mentors with how to teach stock market education. He was a phenomenal coach for me to learn how, and he's been a great friend for many years now. I've known him now since I started in 97, right? So a long time. Dale is a great teacher. He's been listed, and he is a teacher, retired, of course, at this point, but he is a teacher listed in Who's Who of Teaching multiple times in his career. So he's a great person to learn from. And how do you get that portfolio on autopilot? Pop, covered call, E-mini, Vegas spreads, all on the regular schedule this week. Right. I guess I clicked on something there. Not what I was trying to do. Let's go back there. I just wanted to move the page along. So make sure you're following along with the various social platforms we have out there, right? Like, subscribe, share, all of them. But most importantly, on top of that is make sure you go to tradinglikeaboss.com. Every resource that is a free resource we offer is on there. We put our replays up there. Everything we do goes back to that page that are free resources. So you can register for Power Hour. You can register for Coach's Playbook. The key to be free. Did we get that up there yet, Sean? On tradinglikeaboss.com? The one coming up for Thursday and Saturday? All right, so we'll work on getting that up there. The autopilot will be up there. You should be looking for your free resources, your trainings to be on the free resources page, okay? Let's see, and Lee did an awesome job dropping a bunch of that stuff in there for you as well, right? Trading Like a Boss, I appreciate it, Lee. Thank you so much. Let's see. All right, that was good. Okay, perfect. And then here's the Trading Boss Manifesto. This is what it means to me, to us as a company, to be a trading boss, right? And this is the goal of what we're trying to convert individuals in, is a trading boss. You own it, you control it, it's yours, right? You are the boss, right? So you can download this on our homepage, right on the main page of Wealth Builders. You do not need to be logged in to get it, to download it. You just hit download. You're good to go. Even Think Tank, guys, Brandon is killing it right now in his class. Make sure you're checking that out. Futures Bootcamp. We've got specials on both those right now. I know a couple of people got registered for the Futures Bootcamp. I saw today come in after an email had gone out. So I know something went out today on it, but take advantage of the discounts while they're there for these two trainings. Right? We don't want to do that yet. So what trades did you guys do? Go ahead and drop those trades in. I want to take a look at them. What did you do today in your trades, right? And if it wasn't today, did you do, if you trade something on Thursday? I would be very interested in whatever you traded on Friday. Tell me what you traded on Friday. Friday we were closed. Remember, market was closed. So I'd be very interested if you traded something Friday. Actually, what did you do? Drop them in. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't make a difference. Whether it was funded or non-funded doesn't make a difference. The whole idea is you're hitting enter. You're getting really good at that, at following the process, right? And you're placing those trades, right? And again, that's that sharing is caring. Brendan said no trades so far. John said Wheel of Fortune, AMC, Beyond, Naked Puts, Tesla, and Roku cash flow. Nice. Very nice. Easter eggs. There you go, Will. Oh, nice, John. 41. Abbott's still in the trade at $270. Nice, Will. There you go. Let's see. Today's micro. There you go, El. So today's micro, $2,001. Crushing it, baby. Great job. Great job. Okay, John. So John said meant 1K. So John. Our landlord thinks I'm friggin' nuts when we do some of these recordings up here because they're down below us. Like, what the hell are you doing up there? We're throwing the hammer around as we're doing that recording. It was pretty cool. Andres, good. Bought 2 Apple puts Thursday PM near the close. This AM 1 hour, $578. Nice job. Nice job. I love it. I love it. That is great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Good job. Good job, everybody. So today, let me go ahead and let's see. We got Trip in here with us today. We do. Trip, I don't see anything in there from you. You did not trade Micron? Huh. Well, Micron, you guys should be seeing that on a screen there, right? Micron had a gap up. This was one of the candidates on Market Mornings with Robert Roy. If you are not checking that video out every day, there's a phraseology in Italian. It is duzzi basso. Okay, a little crazy in the head. I'm handing you 3, 4, 5, 8 candidates every single day as potential trade setups, all based on the news of what's going on with my analysis of those stocks. That video will take you, well, I mean, if you watch it in normal speed, I don't know if you could watch me on fast speed, but if you watch it in normal speed, it's usually 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. You might get to a 9-minute one occasionally, but that's rare. Most of them are going to be between that 5 and 8 minutes long in that video. And again, if you can watch it on fast speed, I should try that. Because I watch all my videos on fast speed. I just don't know if I speak too fast already. You can never catch up with me. If you're speaking on fast speed, you may not be able to. So I'm not sure if you could do it. But for 5 minutes of your time, well worth it, right? And where we do the analysis of the stock and what we're looking for. So on Micron, right out of the bat, right out of the gate, we had this one down as a bull put spread below 57 and 59. Below 59, we did the 59.58 for 20 cents. And those options are, you know, right now I could get out of that trade for, I think, 7 or 8 cents on that trade. So we're going to wait a little bit towards the end of the day and see how that one works out for us. Let's see. Yeah, PK said would not miss it. There you go. Trip said I missed the entry today. Busy morning. I get it, Trip. I get it. I'm just busting on you a little bit. That's all. Yeah, but you definitely want to check that training out, folks, for market mornings. And you actually can sign up for an email list on tradinglikeaboss.com. You can sign up for the email list where we will register you and tell you, hey, the video is out. So you get an email that says it's ready. So you don't miss out where you forgot to look for it today and so forth. It comes right to your email box. All right. So I want to, well, let's touch on, since I already let the cat out of the bag a little bit, let's touch on the topic today. Sure, Brenda, let me do this. Let's see. Okay, come on now, really? I guess I didn't spell it right. Trading starts with a T, not an R, right? So let me go over to tradinglikeaboss.com. Again, guys, there's the replay of Brandon's top 3 strategies. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook are always in the same spot on this page, right? Here's the upcoming key to be free you can register for. Brenda, right here, how to trade news candidates. Watch that video, and then let me know if that helps you understand how we trade the spread trades that we do in the market mornings, okay? And then here it is, Market Mornings with Robert Roy. This is what's going to get you on the list. That we send you an email that says it's ready. You know, that the video is out there. You can go check it out. Okay. So, dun. All right, I was going back here. And is the SPX getting a wedgie? You know, I asked this, so we do this on a Wednesdays when we come up with a topic for Monday's class, because we've got to get emails scheduled. We had one day less this week because Friday was a holiday. So we have Wednesday and Thursday to get everything done, ready, checked, make sure it's all confirmed that it's good, that the emails go out on time and so forth, then the right emails go out. So the topic of, is the SPX getting a wedgie, right? So if we look at the S&P 500, right? And you look at what's going on in here, right? Look at the pattern itself, okay? Why? Oh, it's not click. Oh, I got to click off. Okay, there we go. Thank you. So look at the pattern itself, right? If you look, we've got this downtrend line in here off of these recent swing highs, right? We have, well, we have this uptrend in here off of these recent swing lows, right? So are we getting a wedgie is what I came up with, right? I really don't want to try to look at the wedge this way. That's really not a wedge, right? It looks like if you're thinking wedgie, that would be really, really painful wedgie. Okay, it would be the way I would look at that one. All right, so that would not be my thought for the wedge. It would be these two lines right here, okay, coming down. So as we're making that move inside of that pattern, right, this is a very long drawn out pattern, but here's the reason I brought it up. The reason I wanted this as our topic today is I want you looking at the market with a very, very, very wide open set of eyes, okay? We are seeing higher lows and higher highs. We're looking for a breakout. There is still a lot of belief out there, whether you believe it or not, but there's a lot of belief out there that the banking industry is not going to be affected, that we're going to be okay with the banking industry, and that the Fed not only is going to continue to raise rates, but possibly raise them more. I don't know about the more part just yet. I think goodness, I'm going to say Greenspan. I think Powell is getting a little bit nervous on how fast he's raised, just because that's been such a major topic out there on news outlets of no Fed is raised faster and higher than Jay Powell has. And it's a true statement. So, but based on that, do we just shoot up and go to the roof, to the moon? I don't know. I don't think so. But the pattern, and that's all I have to go with, is the pattern. The pattern right here doesn't tell me we're going, straight to the moon. pattern tells me we may be stuck in this range, lower highs, higher lows, bigger picture, right? Big swing lows is what we're looking at there, right? This is my recent swing low that I focus on. Yeah, we have other swings in there, but I'm not focused on this pattern in here. I'm looking at the bigger picture on how we're very much meandering. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Bugs Bunny cartoon, but there was this vulture, right? And it was singing, "I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me?" Right? And it was just driving along on my automobile, just very slow, right? Da-doot, 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 da-doot. That's what we're doing here. It's very methodical, very not fast paced where it's whipsawing up and down to that wedge, to that range, but we do have that to contend with, right? And we've got to keep our eye on those types of things. And we failed off of that top area there. And today as a whole is concerning is not the word, expected maybe, but today's candle brings a point, okay? What's happening? As we ran up, we pushed up to this high, we got up to a slightly higher high, and we could actually raise that line. I don't know if I wanted to do that. Let me undo that move. And let me go back and get the whole picture back in there again. Okay. You see, I don't want to move the line, I just want to move the point. Let it snap right to there. Okay. So what's happened is after we failed off of this big candle, we moved down on that day. We gapped down to the fib line. We gapped back down again. And that day, this was on Thursday of last week, we retested the 8 moving average and we pushed back up through the fib line. So that showed us some strength, some gusto, some momentum behind that setup. And then today we have had trouble breaking out. So does anybody want to venture what I am looking at or what I am thinking? What do you see based on what's happened Friday, what's happened today? What are you noticing on there? Drop it in the text chat if you do. Drop it in the text chat if you do, if you have an opinion on it, right? And I'll go through and read those, right? Okay, so Elsa and Trip, same exact word used in there. Jim, not really sure where that, unless you're talking about on Thursday, Jim. Keep going, guys. What are you seeing? I don't want to just give it away. Listen, it's very easy for me to just sit here, talk for 60 minutes, not involve anybody at all, and you just get it or not get it. It's okay. I know what I'm talking about, so I don't really care, right? The whole idea for me of doing these on a Monday like this, on my busiest day of the week, no less, the whole idea of doing this on a Monday is to help you become a better trader. How do I do that? By asking questions. I can't look in your eyes in a training if we were live on location, right? And by the way, if we're ever sitting together and I ask a question and I look in your direction and all of a sudden I see, I know you're trying to hide from me and you will get called on. So just as an FYI, don't do that. Okay. All right. So let's see. We got a bunch of answers just came in. I appreciate that. So, and some of you I've done it to in the past, I know. So, all right, let's see. Elsa and Trip both said indecision. Jim said higher high. Andre said lower high and consolidation. Okay. Lower high. You got it, Jim. Okay, there you go. Good. Let's see. Stephanie said bouncing off the 8, but no follow through. Interesting. Let's see. The doji represents fighting between the sellers and the buyers. Elsa, you are right. The only the only thing to consider is it's a doji up to this point, but we're not really there yet. So, and what I mean by that is we need the close of the day to really have the doji. So a little caution if you're looking at candles like this intraday and calling it that, but I see where you're going with it. PK said box of neutrality starting and pinning between the fib and the 8. Paula said indecision. Okay, so 2 or 3 of you mentioned the 8. Okay, And right now, I am looking at the move down to the 8 here on Thursday, back again today. Very small body, right? Spinning top type doji candle. Wicks are about equal distant for now on there. And we have not been able to break above the 40.94, right? Which is the 236. So the 236 level is one word. For those of you that know it, awesome. For those that don't, write it down. The 236 level is hesitation. It is a hesitation point. Doesn't mean we're going to break up and go, break and go to the upside, fail and go to the downside. It just tells us that stocks tend to hesitate around that area. And keep something in mind. No line is definitive or infinite. That's it. This is the line, and it's never going to break 41.81. Or it's never going to break 4,000. It doesn't, or it's got to stop right at 4,000 or it doesn't count. We're in the area, in a zone, right? So the last couple of days, we've played around that 40.94 level, right? So all of that is important in there. Let's see, we got a couple more comments came in. Let me go back down and grab those. Yeah, so the EMAs are spreading out, but if you look, Jennifer, what's happened? The 8 has flattened out now. So the 21 will take a day or two, maybe a few more than that even, to catch up and start to level off. If the stock just, if the SPX just goes sideways here, the 8 is going to react a lot faster. But we were getting a nice spread, but that was all related to, remember, you got to go 8 days back from today to find where the start of this point on the chart happened. And that's been the last 8 days. So even if you counted today, which it is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our point is coming back from here, which was all the way down here 8 days ago, right? So we're leveling off, but the last 3 days have not given us any momentum, any direction. So all of that being said, is the SPX getting a wedgie? Yes, it's forming a wedge, a setup in there that shows higher lows and lower highs, right? It's not a triangle, which has fixed, or set lows and set highs where we keep pressing into a horizontal line. That's not what this is, right? This is showing lower lows, higher lows and lower highs right now. The breakout, if we're looking at this for a Fibonacci breakout, the tool I used last week, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about because you either missed last week or forgot, go back and watch last week's recording, right? Because that setup was awesome of how we use that. Somebody this last week, in a one-on-one call I had with somebody this last week, told me how beneficial that tool became to them, how beneficial that tool was for them this week, this last trading week. So there's a lot of value in that setup right there. So I'm looking at the 8, I'm looking at the 236, and we're pinned in there. To me, we have a pressure cooker building, which somebody mentioned before. We have a pressure cooker building. I'm looking for an explosion. Is that guaranteed it's going to explode? No, it's just what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a hard press out of there. If we push to the downside, I'm good with that because my 21 has a confluence with the 382 line. If we push to the upside, I'm okay with that because I've got a downtrend line to contend with. And the longer we stay in this hesitation mode, in this sideways mode, this indecision mode, the lower this line becomes and the shallower the breakout to the upside is. Okay? So focus on these points that I drew off of, right? It's off of the lowest lows and the highest highs of those two candles each, right? Snap your wedge on there and take a look at it, check it out, and see how it comes, into play over the next couple of days. Good, Jim. There you go. Hesitation. Excellent. 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 Darlo said, where is the best chances for a breakout? So Darlo, it's hard to say on this because we need this. We need to see the intersection of the two lines. They're way out here, right? This is really, really, really far away. So looking at from the starting point, 125 days and or the end of June. Late June is would be the best breakout, and that is if these tops and bottoms hold that long. I would much have preferred one of these lines, actually both of them, to be a little bit steeper and or a little bit shorter when they happened, right? It took a very long time, 2 months or so up, 2 months or so down. We went another month and a quarter, month and a half up. We're taking a long time on that move inside of there, okay? Let's see. Right, the fib time ratios. That's the tool we're using right here. It says Fibonacci time ratios. And this is on Omega charts, guys. If you're using another platform, I think TradeStation has something on this. I don't really use it on intraday charts. I really only use it on the end of day chart, but there is a tool in there that you can use. TOS, I'm assuming, TOS users, do you have a time ratio tool in there? I'm assuming you do. Yeah, like watching your toenails go. Exactly, Brenda. There you go. Jim said 3:27:23. Power hours where you covered the Fibonacci time extension lines. Perfect. Yeah, and Fibonacci, TradeStation, Jim said it's called Fibonacci time extension line. Yep. And Will gave me a 1. So TOS does have this type of tool in there as well. Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at Trader Will said called fib time extensions. Looks like a clock with a percent sign in it is what Will said. Very much appreciate it, Will. Very much appreciate it. All right. So let's go back here. So there's getting a wedgie, right? I want to talk, and I really kind of did, but I want to talk just for another minute on SPX and what's going on. We want to keep our eye out on the upcoming economic reports. The Fed is, I think, May 2nd. Can someone tell me, I wish I'd remember to check before I come here. Could somebody tell me percent of rate hike to a quarter point, and or if it's pushed to a half, which I don't think so. I think the other side of it is 0. But what are the chances of a rate hike? I think it's May 2nd, I believe. Is it the 2nd? Confirm the date for me if you would as well. That's interesting, since our mastermind group on May 2nd, which is a Tuesday, we're going to cover the directional trades. We're going to go through the strategy. We've got 2-hour training that night. We're going to go through directional trades. But if any of you have a chance to take a look, let me know what that is, okay? But based on what I see, right, I'm waiting for a breakout right now. Which way? I really don't care. Right? Actually, let me go ahead and delete those off of there, right? Escape. Let's bring it current. The overall bias of the market is bullish right now. So that's the higher expectation, is the move up. If we fail, we have moved 1 standard deviation from where we were, 1 fib line, right? From the 236 down to the 382. At that 382, we have a hesitation point, or a confluence rather, because we've got the 21 moving average sitting right there as well, which I'm happy about. It's kind of some additional strength on the floor, right? It's amazing that the water bottle just doesn't want to stay upright. It's some extra strength on the floor by having that in there. So I do like that 21 in there, but that, if it does break the 8, we've got some decent room to move down. Now, why is that important to me? Although I wouldn't do anything overnight, a day trade between the 8 and 21 or down to the 382 level, I'm very much about. If we look at rank on this right now, if we look at the rank on this, a little too close to call manually. All right, so we're in a rank of 2, right? The 8 moving average is just a little bit far away from the fib line, from the 236. but we've got a rank of 2 right now, which means we're close enough with our price to the fib line. Moving average is not, so we give it a rank of 2. Does that mean we take, don't take? Yes. It means we either take or don't take the trade based on what's happening and where the setup is. The setup to the downside, I would want to wait for the break of the 8, retest it and fail. The break to the upside, I'd want to wait for the breakout, the retest of the 236, which is this 4094 on the bounce, and there's my upside move. I'd be looking at that wedge top as resistance, so somewhere down below there would be my target. Now, the reason that I'm not giving you a hard target of my resistance is at 4108, because that doesn't work that way. What day does it break out and make that happen? Because every day that wedge is moving further and further down, coming closer and closer and closer to the 236 level. So that will change based on the day we're looking to hit it. So what might be 4100 today, as an example, could be 4090 in a day or 2 or 3. Right? So we want to watch that chart. Never rely on someone to tell you this is it, just go trade this. You should always do your own due diligence and make sure you like it. I cannot tell you how many times, end of day 2 at a live event I would be teaching, someone walks up and says, okay, what now? That's what you mean, what now? All right, the trades you just did, I did them. Which one? All of them. You mean the spread trades? Yes. Did you like that strategy? Oh my God, I loved it. All right, so what's your exit strategy? Go, what do you mean? So what's your exit strategy? And they're like, well, that's kind of what I'm asking. What do we do? I said, you took on a trade that you have no idea if it was good, bad, or indifferent. You just did it. Yeah, why? Because you did it. And I understand it. So, and my answer was always, my phone number does not come with the event. You don't get to call me next week. I told you, don't place these for real. Go home and practice these. Learn the ins and outs of them first, right? Before you go ahead and place those trades and put those trades on, okay? So you want to go ahead and follow the process of what the market is doing and make the determination then of, is this the setup that I want to take now or not? If the answer is no, great, then don't take it. That's okay. If the answer is yes, what are your rules? What's the process that you're going to use to take or defend against that trade if it were to go against you? How are you going to handle all of that? Right? Where's your target? Where's your stop? Did you use the strategy creation system to develop a trading system around this? Or is this just, let's just throw some money at it and see what happens? Right? Which we obviously don't want to do. Okay? It's just throw money at it. Okay, so I'm looking at, you guys are telling me May 3rd, a bunch of you let me know that. So Trip and Jim, and so thank you, everybody. 72% chance for a 1/4 point hike. So, and it is the 3rd, right? Okay, so it's May 3rd. So May 3rd is the next Fed meeting. Right now, there's a 3/4%-ish chance, about 75% chance that the hike will be a quarter. We had a very small percent, about 22 or 23% when the beginning of the month started. Beginning of, well, let me rephrase that. After the last hike, very low percent. We were still in the banking woes of the world's coming to an end, right? So, you know, I don't foresee that happening. Could it? Yeah, anything could happen, but I can't bank on or bet on or trade around something that may happen at one time. I can't do it. If that's the case, I'll never get a trade off. I'll be petrified the whole time. Let's see. So Veronica said, any thoughts on rumors of crash of the dollar? Saudis sell to China in the yuan. So here's the thing. My bigger fear is not per se, yes, you know, I don't know how that's going to affect it. I heard this ridiculous comment by a politician that I think his daddy should have took him out to bed behind the shed and beat him like a redheaded stepchild, right? I mean, that's just, the comment he made was one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. And it was why it's a good thing for the U.S. to come off as the clearing dollar of the world. You mean the 4% we get paid on everything we clear, you think we should just give that back, right? Socialism, communism, let's bring us there, baby. The expectation is a 25% decrease in your standard of living if we give those monies up. Who's paying the extra 4%? We're going to tax the rich. We ain't taxed them yet. How long in office already? We haven't raised tax on the wealthy yet. Come on, man. If you're going to do it, do it. Right? It's not going to happen. Some of you may know this. There was one point in history that there was a 90% tax on anybody that made more than X, whatever X was. 90% tax. And it affected a lot of individuals. You know how many people paid the 90% tax? None. Zero. And they never will. There are always strategies and ways around this. You can talk up a good game, but it's not going to help any with what you're trying to accomplish, right? We need to get a good, strong, solid focus here, and that's not going to do it, guys. Let's see. So my bigger fear becomes the losing of the clearing currency. Now, China, Russia, and Mexico had vowed to get us off of that. China fears me. Russia, I have some fear there as well, particularly because of hacking and things like that. Mexico, I'm not really worried about Mexico doing anything, okay? But when you talk about Saudi in there, Veronica, as far as the Saudi government goes, you guys remember, and gals, you remember the 1,000 point drop the market took, but it was by a oops, right? And they said someone hit the wrong button, right? And the market just dropped 1,000 points. No, sorry. There is an open pipeline between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia for money transfers through the market that is non-traceable. I don't get this. My opinion, that was a test. That was a stress test to see what could happen before failure. And they realized that anytime they choose, boop, and we're done. You're talking about wealth being wiped out. Think of a Warren Buffett with all of his stocks, you know, his portfolio was to drop 60, 70, 80% overnight. What happens to that portfolio? What happens to him? What happens to his obligations, the debt that he owes? His debt that's based on what his net worth is, his net worth based on what his stocks are. If the stocks have lost value, his net worth has lost value, his forward cash has to be higher to be able to cover that debt now, to service that debt. Okay? So that's a bigger concern for me. I remember one coach I was teaching with at the time, he actually got a picture on CNBC of the minus 1,000 points on the Dow. He got a picture before they got, you know, it had bounced up back off it a little bit there. Yeah, there's always rumors. There you go, Will. Anything is possible, but all things are equally likely. There you go, Bill. Bill M. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, no increase would be 28%. Jim had said no raise would be 28%. So, and I don't see that happening, guys. I think we're going to see the quarter point. I think we've got at least one more quarter behind that. I don't believe we're going to see any drop in interest rates this year. That's me. Do I hope I'm wrong? I do. Do I think I'm wrong? I don't. I'd like to be wrong. I'd be very happy to be wrong, right? And it's not like I've not been wrong before. Ask my wife. She will tell you. I've definitely been wrong. Ask her. She'll let you know. Right? Oh, goodness gracious. SPX just crossed the 4093. Excellent. Good. Yep. I see we're up there now, which is right at that 236 again, the 0.236. Good. Very good. All right. What stocks do you guys want to take a look at? Drop them in. What candidates you want me to check out? This is an opportunity for you to get your stocks looked at before we leave here today. At least give you another opinion. Good, bad, or indifferent. It is mine. But at least give you another opinion of what we're looking at here. So Brenda said SPY, Qs, and Amazon. So let's go look at SPY first. Looks just like the SPX, doesn't it? Well, it is the SPX. Ding dong. Okay. So very similar fib on there. Same thing. We've got to get above that 409 level. Actually 408. Above that 408. So get me up to about 408 and a half. Retest the 408 and a bounce. I would look at a short-term target right at our recent swing high for resistance. Just below that for my exit. 1. Second exit at about 418. If we break, no different, Brenda. We're looking at that 402 level as the downside. Whoops. There is a, there we go. A lot of you in there. Okay. QQQ. Okay. Q. That was the entire fib. Same type of pattern there with the 318.53 level. I am looking at, we're just above the 8 right now, so that 318.5 would be our upside target. We're looking at 309 as our downside target. And 334 is resistance. What do we have here? 11, 18, 20. Yeah, okay, we need a fib in there. So we need to put an 882 in there. So looking at 326 is your next resistance on that one, Brenda. All right. And then on Amazon, okay, let's see. Do the unscrunch key, which is escape. Oh, I'd like a little more time. Okay, good. So we're looking at 103.5 on the upside. If we can break 100 on the downside. So we don't have a lot of room to the downside. A little bit more to the up, but not by a whole lot. 100 to 10. Well, actually, it's 101.5 to 103.5. So we've got $2, of which you'll probably pick up a buck worth of it. So be careful, but we definitely want to be scaled out, if not taken out of this trade, before we get to that 103.5 level. You can see all that resistance there, 5 days of it. Right? All 5 days played very nicely on it. I hope that helps, Brenda. Let me know in the comments down below. Tripp's asking for AMD. First. Okay. Oy vey. Okay. Fib's got to be redrawn. Let's. I don't know if I've got enough room. Yeah, not bad. Okay, good. So we're in a neutral bias right now. Trip literally sitting right there at this point. 97 is resistance. 93 is support. We're at 95 right now. So we don't have a lot of room in either direction. That's because our 8's kind of in the way in the middle there. I'd love to see it get above the 96.78 though, and stretch from there. Next is IBM. Let's see. Earnings coming out very soon from what I could see on Omega charts there. Pull this out a little bit. I can't even get good premiums on this for diagonals, nothing. It's tough. 131 trip, get above that, retest and bounce. You're looking at 134 quarter. Be careful on earnings. If we drop, I don't want to play the downside unless we break the 21, and then I got too much room back up to the next fib line and confluence, so I would pass on the down for it. The upside I'd be okay with. And then Tripp said, let's look at Micron, but in going forward fashion, MU. In other words, what's going on down the road. So not for today per se, because it's already made a huge move. We're up 481 on it. Very nice. So let's see. First things first, Tripp. We could and should look at this here. Right? And if we look at this, just to come off there a little bit, we do have an ascending triangle in there, Tripp, with a really, really strong breakout potential to the upside. So we're talking about 50 to 65, $15 move. $15, let's see, 10% of that would be $1.50. Yeah, there's some good opportunistic breakout to that upside, Tripp, on the wedge there. So I'd be watching that 64 half level for a break. Breakout, retest, bounce, but that break may take off and just fly, Tripp. So caution when it comes to that. All right, I hope that helps. Let's see. DX is asking for Meta. All right, come on, baby. Come on. There we go. I want to see the beginning of the fib. All right. So strong move. Okay, strong move. Meta is one that as long as it's staying above the 8, we're good. And it pierced down one time only. The last time we were down there below that, with the exception of the one day, was March 13th. So it's been a while. Good strong move. The pullback on Thursday trip was the trigger to the entry for sure. We're looking at, not trip, sorry, DX. We're looking at 220 as our resistance. I hope that helps. Let me know down below. Tesla. Love me some Tesla. Right, a little bit of news out on them today for their mega battery or bank rather factory in China. There's also kind of hidden underneath all of that was we're cutting prices on cars in China. So the fear of what's going to happen, are people going to buy more now? And they're deflating some of the purchases later because they're, people are jumping in now because it's a lower price. Funny, you look at real estate market and where we are looking in Florida, we just realized in the last couple of weeks, we're seeing less and less houses listing there. And it's very clear. Buyers don't want to sell at what people want to pay. And, sellers don't want to sell it for what people want to pay. And buyers don't want to pay what the sellers want. Right. But anything that's a really nice home. I mean, we saw one that my wife found last night. It was on the market for 2 hours and there were 108 saves, I think, already on it in 2 hours. Easter Sunday, everybody's sitting around checking out properties in west coast of Florida, which is where we're looking. So Tesla, right? I like the pattern. I like the stock. We look for the breakdown. We've got earnings coming out 18th. I don't remember if they were confirmed. I'm not sure. But it shows 418. If we get that fail, retest the 180.68. We're looking at 171.5 as our target. If we get the break to the upside, we're going to look for that 191.5 as the resistance. So 190.5, 190, somewhere around there would be the target. All right, John, I hope that helps. DX is asking for NVIDIA. What a nice pattern. We're at resistance. This is easy, DX. This is and I don't mean this in any negative way, of course. This is an easy one to analyze for me. Break above the fib line, retest, bounce, we're in. Where's the stop? Somewhere down below that fib line, right? We go between 13 and 25% down below that line. Okay, and our target is going to be that 286.66. 286.66 is, so 287 is resistance, 286, 285, somewhere in there is going to be a target. A lot of room for run to the upside. Lots of it. Let's see. Roman, how you doing, my friend? NVIDIA, we just covered, so that's good. So Tripp said we need to fib it on the Qs. See if I missed that. Oh, we still need another one? 18, that's 8 points. No, we're good now. So, okay, it must have been before I put it in. But got it, I appreciate it. A lot of Teslas. Darlo had Tesla in there. Karen's asking for First Solar. Let's see. Very big. Let's see, 204 to 218. 14 points, right? Well, right now we're looking at 14. So we don't really need to fib it in there. We're right on the cusp of fib it. But if we add in a 118, you'll see we're getting real close to that 118 right now. So we can move up above the 211 retest and bounce. 218 quarter is resistance. So 217-ish would be our target on the outside. Wendy, you're welcome. Yeah, the 3-2 is fine, Trip. Jim said you might know this, but AA is confirmed reporting earnings on Wednesday, 4/19. Earnings season is closed. Yes. So the start of earnings unofficially is Alcoa, AA. Some will tell you that it's the banks, which are coming out now, and that's fine. I learned it as Alcoa. It's just what's stuck in my head that I look for Alcoa, and that's the kind of the starting point then. Tesla's earnings are confirmed, Jim said, 4/19 after market close. Thank you. Back in business, Roman. There you go. Good. I hope the real estate stuff has gotten you back to where we were. Trip said banks start earnings this week. Yep, sure do. I saw that there were 5 or 6 of them, I think, coming out this week. So that's a big part of it. So, all right, you guys are going to see a couple of emails come out over the next little bit. Do me a favor, if you would, Lee, could you drop the bookacall.org link in, please? So, guys, we did this Key to Be Free, which we haven't done in about 15 months. I set it up where people could go ahead and get on my calendar to talk with me and have me go through a little bit of what it would take for you to become free in 2023. I saw a lot of unlikely characters in there, people that I never thought would have booked calls to sit with me to talk about this. I saw people that, and every conversation was good. I didn't have a bad one at all. But we only did it the last Key to Be Free that we did. We didn't do it on the first 2 that we had done. We did it on mine, on the 3rd one I did. And there were people that were upset that I didn't offer this in the other 2. I said, we'll get you with one of my team members. I know some of you have already spoke to my team. Some of you have not. But if you guys want to get on my calendar to talk about what I can do for you, right, to free you this year, potentially in the market, then you want to get on my calendar for this. Slots, I'm telling you, last week, wiped out. I had multiple days where there were 4 and 5 meetings back to back. I wasn't planning on that. I kind of set my calendar up a little bit differently this week now, just to help protect for that. But if you guys want me to walk through with you and help you to understand what that is, I can do that, right? And we are doing, for those of you that haven't been there, we are doing Key to Be Free coming this Thursday and Saturday. You definitely do not want to miss it. We have not done it in a long time. You want to get on this calendar, to be in that training, that live training, that if you haven't been there, before it's too late, right? Before that's gone, we lock it out, and then I'm done helping for this year. I'm just going to work with those that I've got right now to walk through. But I can show you the things you need to do moving you towards success, okay? So if you have an interest, go ahead over to bookacall.org, and you get that going. Yeah, Elsa said, come to Florida so we can go to your yearly meeting. My office is here. Unless I close this office down, we're not planning to move to Florida. It would be more of a snowbird type thing for us. So, and travel in the winter is always tougher, I find, just not because of where you are only, but because of where people are coming from. I got stuck in Chicago because of the weather that wasn't in New York, but weather that was in other places getting close to New York. That was just shutting airports down and so forth, right? So that's interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll probably be giving woodworking classes if I wind up with something with a nice big garage down from my house in Florida. Got some brand new tools on the way coming right now. A little bit of a reward for how things have gone for me. We're buying a CNC machine. For those of you that know what that is, I'm excited for that. My wife is happy until she sees the space it will take in the garage, which is not where my shop is. So that'll be fun. Yeah, Danny, we are looking in Dunedin, Oldsmart, places over in that area, right? Safety Harbor is probably my favorite. Safety Harbor and Dunedin is really the ones my wife and I like the most. But there's 3 or 4 others that we're looking at as well. So Florida's getting overcrowded, unfortunately. And it's not just Florida. There are other places like it that are as well, but it's, New York has been a Democratic state for years and years and years. The Republican governor nominee this year, last year missed winning governor by about 60,000 votes. That's the number of New Yorkers that moved from New York to Florida alone last year. Go figure. LA, they're saying, is getting wiped out between all of the high taxes, bad crime, They want to do things where they give reparative damages to certain ethnic groups in the millions of dollars, no matter what country you're from. Yeah, you can get that, right? And you go for it, California, but the rest of the world ain't going to pay for your crap, right? I mean, it is not. Look, I got a good friend of mine who's an actor. Actually, yeah, I'll give a shameless plug on it. Guys, go check out the book. It comes out this week, the 15th. When's the 15th, Sean? Saturday. It comes out on Saturday on Amazon. It's called Shitty to Happy in 21 Days. Shitty to Happy in 21 Days. Steve is probably one of the best friends I've ever had in this world. And I met him because of trading. The very first training that I went to become a coach, he and I met there and have remained the best of friends, right? He was in California. He's now moving to Atlanta. He's done with California. He's an actor. He's been in many shows. He was Daisy Duke's boyfriend on the Dukes of Hazzard TV show. That big Daisy Duke's kiss, this massive kiss of Daisy Duke's, right? He was it, right? Good looking guy back then. We'll leave it at that. Okay, I'm kidding. There's a movie studio down there in California that is now bigger than most of the LA ones are. One of them in particular, it has all of the Marvel movies locked up for the next 5 years. In Georgia, not in California. So not in Hollywood. Go figure, right? Things are a-changing, right? So if you guys have an interest in getting on there, you know, I've talked a little bit around this now, but if you have an interest in getting on that, Chicago and Illinois have the same problems. Oh, yeah. Lots of TV and movies in Georgia now. There are, Trip, I know. My friend Steve is just, you know, he can't talk enough about the studios that are over there and the high tech that they're building them in. Where in LA, he talks about some of them falling apart. He was just in, the same author is just in the movie, goodness gracious, what the heck was the name of it now? Jesus Revolution. Jesus, just lost it for a second. He's in that movie, Jesus Revolution. So, which was filmed in California. So I think it was California. But anyway, he said that some of the LA stuff is falling apart. The Hollywood things are walking away, right? Yeah, Walking Dead is what started it in Georgia. Wow. So, folks, there you have it. All right. If you want me to help a little bit, give you some guidance as to where to go, there's no hard pressure on anything, folks. I'm going to point you in a direction and tell you this is what I think you should be doing. Right? Do it or don't do it is really up to you. Go ahead and get on that calendar. Leah's dropped it in there. And if you forget it, it's bookacall.org. And I will get you guys set up and going. All right, with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, the meetings with me will get you that much closer to being one trade away. Take care, everybody. I will see you next week. Bye for now.